Hello everyone, and welcome to my first video on YouTube on my Vida Real life coaching channel. My name is Efren Urrutia, and I would just like to introduce myself to this new platform for me. I know there's a lot out there, and I'm just thankful and blessed that you're here and watching mine today. Um, First of all, I would just like to establish a goal for this first video. My goal for this first video will be for you to get to know me a little bit, who I am, what I do, um, share with you what being a life coach means to me, and define what a life coach does. Um, Maybe a little bit of my qualifications as well, what qualifies me to be a potential life coach for you out there. And that's pretty much it for this first video. Um, like I said, it's my first one, and the ones that come behind it will hopefully be better than this one. I'm a little nervous, first time, but the whole point of this video is to just get started, okay, and get out there and get my message out. And it takes a little bit of vulnerability on my end, and I can just imagine, how it could be nerve-wracking to many others that are first starting as well. So with that being said, let's get going. All right, so again, my name is Efren Urrutia. I was born in Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, Chihuahua, the state of Chihuahua in Mexico, 1975. I moved to the U.S. as a little boy with my mom and my sisters, and started life here in not here, but in West Texas. Um, that was my first experience to living outside outside the Mexican states and into the United States. So that's where I grew up. Graduated high school there, moved out of there to Las Vegas, lived there for many years, started a family, um, started basically my career in management there as well. And throughout life, a lot of things happened, ups and downs, and where I am now, I am here in Austin, Texas area, more specifically Georgetown, Texas. And it's been great here, and but again, that's just a little bit about me as far as where I come from, where I lived, and and what part of the country um, um, I'm talking from. Um, what is a life coach? Okay, there's a lot of that out there going on right now. A lot of coaching has taken off in the last 10, 20 years. Um, it seems like everybody wants to be a life coach. There's a lot of businesses out there, a lot of individuals doing it. And there's always been the greats that have always been managed to do that for so many years, and they've kept their audience and their target audience, and but what is a life coach? Um, Definition of a life coach is a life coach is a professional relationship between a coach and a client designed to help the client increase self-awareness, generate learning, and identify and accomplish meaningful goals. That's the straight definition. Um, to give you further insight into it, coach versus a consultant. Um, a coach does not give advice or solutions like a consultant would, right? You hire a consultant uh, in purchasing real estate, or a consultant in how to start a specific business, etc. They give you solutions, a path, and they might even just start it up for you if you pay them the right amount of money. So that's the difference between a coach and a consultant. A life coach and a therapist, a therapist gives you diagnosis. They work on the past. experiences that you've had to try to dig deep to what's going on with you, maybe psychologically and mentally. So coach does not do that. A life coach does not do that. And then the third one would probably be a mentor, right? So a mentor is experienced and specialized in certain areas, um, that you would get a mentor to give you advice and possible solutions to whatever area of expertise they have. So as a life coach, my qualifications are, um, well, let's not say qualifications, but my my practice is to help individuals with personal growth. Okay, looking at some of the things that are blocking you from your next steps and your goals, um, career path, problem solving techniques, skills, help you dig deep into some of those areas that maybe you're not comfortable in. Um, Financial goals, business goals. I wouldn't tell you exactly how to spend your money, where to spend it, what to buy, what not to buy. Your business goals as to what you're trying to do with your business, starting a company or selling it, etc. But I could help you in um, asking the questions that need to be asked. Like, what are you doing? What is your goal? What are you looking forward to? What is your 1, 3, 5, 7 year plan? Do you have a path already? And if you're on that path, are you having issues getting there? What's blocking you besides what you already know? Um, Personal accountability is another one. Um, we tend to pass blame a lot on other things in our life, and we don't do it on purpose sometimes, but we tend to pass the buck, push the blame. Maybe we're in a spot that someone put us in, and we're still playing the victim role to that certain experience that you've had with that individual, or with someone in your family, or someone at work, co-workers, business partners, etc. um, Health and wellness. I am not a health and wellness specific coach, but I have um, gone on my own journey with that. And in any of these topics, I've dealt with individually, one at a time, and this is the focus of why I want to help individuals with these types of um, goals in their lives and problems, or problems. So health and wellness. At one point, I was almost 300 pounds. Years ago, about 5 years ago, started a journey again to control my weight, to drop pounds, and hit the gym. All those things that many people do when once they're faced with a health hazard or health issue in their life. Um, so I've battled through that, and I made it through, and I'm still working on that. I'm still actively engaging in all of those aspects of many of these topics that I just talked about. And health and wellness also is combined with mental health. I'm a big proponent of therapy. I myself have seen a therapist, and I continue to see one once a month for the last 2.5 years. And those are things that I would also let my clients know that there's nothing wrong with that. There's a point in your life where you just need someone to talk to at that level, to help you dig deep into why you are where you are, and where can you get the strength to move forward and keep going. So again, that's health and wellness. And then education. um, like many of you, I have, maybe some of you, gone to college, gotten the degrees, done a lot of training, done a lot of certifications for so many different things. So a lot of experience in education and goals, and what you would like as a client to do, and what education plans do you have, and what path forward are you looking for. So those are things that I can help with. And then the last is relationships. Relationship goals. Relationships are very important to us as human beings. We have relationships at home, our significant others, our children. In my case, I have grandchildren already, and I have 6 grandchildren. So, there's a lot of relationships there. Blended families, um, second or third marriages, um, second or third relationships, breakups. Um, there's just so many dynamics when it comes to relationships and all the things that we're doing within our own circle, and then our circles at work, and then our circles out in the world. Um, and the last thing I wanted to mention was life transitions as well. There's a lot of pain and suffering out there that people have already gone through, and they want to get to the next level, which is to move on, move forward, or maybe they already moved on, but they just don't know how to um, take the next step into continuing their life without that specific person, whether it's a loss of a family member, which in my case, I've lost my mother, I've lost other uncles and aunts, and then my brother many years ago, 2012, in a horrible motorcycle accident. So he was 23 when he passed away. So how do you, as a person, go forward when you have a tragic loss of a loved one, and then also a loss in maybe a relationship, a divorce or what have you? I've gone through that as well. So there's so many things that in my life personally have touched me, that I've centered um, all these subjects on around, and in my honest um, um, opinion of it, I have a lot of experience in that. So those are some of the things that I would be working with you out there, whoever happens to work with me one on one or as a group. Um, so again, those are all the subjects that I think are mostly in my wheelhouse. The other side of it is business and corporate. And that side is operational excellence, OPEX. Some of you out there know it. It was big in early 2000s. I mean, it's been big for so many years, and all it is within operations of a business, a company, anything that produces a widget per se. Operational excellence is designed to cut out the fat. Okay, so it's lean management. How do you get a process or a system optimized to the top level where you're cutting out everything that doesn't need to be there? Sometimes it's overhead, and that's one of the first things that a lot of companies do is, let's just fire or let go all these people, and then we'll save some money and just keep going, and then we'll stop wasting this type of trash. Take away the coffee, whatever. there's a lot of things that companies do, and sometimes they do it at a sheer frustration or at a sheer panic, to not dissatisfy their shareholders, and in some instances the private ownership of these companies. So in operational excellence, the whole goal is to come into a process, study it, get to know it, interview people, look at the process, take data, basically define the problem, right? Define the problem. What is it that your company is suffering? Where are you hurting? Where are you bleeding from? Where is all this money going? Then we measure, right? We measure that information. What's coming in, what's going out? What is your input, your output, and what is left? Okay. So you're measuring all that. Then you make improvements. Or you analyze first. You analyze all that data, all the data that you just collected. What are you doing with all that data? Okay. Let's look at it. Let's pinpoint. Let's just grab it and get to know the whole intricacies of the whole thing. The other thing is, um, improve it, right? Once you have everything defined, measured, analyzed, you make your improvements, you make that happen, put them in. Then at the end of it, you control it and you just basically say, okay, here's your problem, here's the savings, um, this is what we did, and then you just get the results. And so the companies, have for a long time hired operational excellence experts to come in and revamp and reorganize some of the things they do. So that's the corporate side. Um, but for me, I think I'm leaning more towards the personal side first and just start there, because that's my passion, is to help others find, their true self and be able to um, navigate through through your own personal journey. Okay? We all have our own personal journey. So um, again, some of my um, influences that I've had in the past are, for example, Tony Robbins, Eckhart Tolle, the Don Miguel Ruiz and the family, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr., and then Jose, um, also, and Joe Dispenza, um, among many others. So a lot of work that I've done in the past, for many years, with reading books, with going to therapy, with going to different seminars, different conferences. So many things that I've done have prepared me to this point. So that gets me to the qualifications that I would like to talk about. So what qualifies me to be your life coach out there, um, in the world? Well, first of all, I've lived. So life, right? Life coach. I've lived. But no, without seriousness, from the beginning up till now, pretty much 27 years of operations experience in different kind of industries, from plastics to cement to limestone manufacturing to plastic extrusion to asphalt. So my career has just been filled with all those types of industries that help to keep this world running. In between that, of course, done a lot of training in different types of certifications. One of them is Lean Six Sigma Black Belt, not karate or anything like that. That's the operational excellence certification. So again, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt certification that qualifies me to, you know, go into a company like I talked about earlier and do the operational excellence part of it. A couple of degrees in business administration, business management, and of course, most recently, um, life coach training, which I've already finished, and that was like a year and a half or two ago. So those are the qualifications that I have. The other qualifications are obviously my own life experience. That is what I am bringing to the table. Um, these The coaching side of things, sometimes people say, "What does he know? What is he gonna do for me? What is this guy? You know, what is this life coaching thing? What are you talking about?" Um, and for the right reasons, I was there as well, many, many, many years ago. But what I found out was when I had those hard times, when I first um, got out of high school and didn't really know what to do with my life, I would say, let's go, college, right? Let's go to college. And let's get a degree, and and then go get your life together and get married. Those are all the 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 standards and the goals that have always been, you know, given to us, since we were little, you know, and we do it to our kids nowadays. We let them know you gotta be successful. You gotta go to college. You gotta get a degree. You gotta work, work, work. You gotta you got to do this, that, and the other. And then sometimes we end up pushing so hard that we're trying to live our dreams through them, right? And our goals. And sometimes that can have a negative effect in the end. So my point with that is, as a young man, my father wasn't around too much. It was here and there, but um, not being able to talk to someone to get some advice, to get um, some intuition from somebody, some a path forward. It would have been nice. It would have been nice to be able to talk to a life coach. I didn't know there was such thing back then. Um, then again, starting my career, starting college, picking a degree, a curriculum, what schools to go to. Should I work full time, part time? Should I have should I just load up on classes? What is the best option? And we tend to just follow the crowd. And they tell you get this degree, get that degree. Especially colleges nowadays, you know, they will tell you what you need to do, and as far as what's hot out there, what's the best career or profession. And they schools are meant to make money, hence school loans, which I have a few and that I'm almost done with. But that was many years ago. So again, having a life coach for that, that would have been awesome. My first marriage, and getting to the point of frustration with school and the kids and your wife, and just the complexities of how all that works. And so to have to maybe have been able to have a coach then that you could go to and say, hey, I'm having issues, or I'm trying to, I got this plan, but I just don't know how to get there. I feel like everything I do is just not working out right. I make a plan and it just goes sideways, and I just need some guidance, some goals. I need a time management techniques, or I need a problem solving method that I could work with. So that would have been kind of cool back in the day to be able to sit down and talk to someone like that. And then of course through divorce after that, you kind of get back off, you get off, you jump off the wagon and you're just a mess, and then you heal and you go and you start your life again, and then it's like, what do I do now? What's the best path forward? What should I do? Where am I going? And we just tend to follow our hearts, right? So, sorry, who broke this thing? But we tend to follow our hearts. We tend to follow our hearts when we tend to think with our heart, and sometimes our mind is not connected. So we just make emotional decisions, like I need to start over, and I need to do this. I need to move away and hide and etc. So at that point, it would have been nice to have a life coach. You know, again, financially, the ups and downs of financial decision making. That's also been hard for me in the past. So again, life coach maybe at that point would have been nice as well. Um, after the death of a family member, after the death of a parent, a brother, someone that you're really close to, after you heal, you're trying to move on and be um, and just be, not, I'm not gonna say happy, but just be um, part of the family again, in a sense of you're helping them to be um, normal again, to just accept, and let go. So as a person of what I believe in my family is the man, right? The man of the family, the man of your immediate family. There's a lot of people that look up to you, and they ask you for advice, and they need your input. So sometimes you can't do that on your own. Sometimes with help of a coach, you might be able to get that confidence, back, to be able to um, you know support your family members, support your parents, support your spouse, anybody that needs help, that are going through a hard time. So um, that's that's mostly the gist of it. Just being able to have um, someone to talk to, even if you just have ideas and you just seem to be stuck. We tend to make our goals. We tend to want to do the best, and then for some reason, sometimes just things get in the way. And again, that could be us or that could be somebody else. But at the end of the day, it's our choices. What do we do as humans? We have to make a choice. We choose to react to how others treat us, to how others talk to us, to how others' um, energy and input comes our way. We have a choice to accept it, to say no, to say yes, to not let it get to us in any way, shape, or form, to not let it control us. So it all comes down to choices. Um, the one example I could also say would be like, for many individuals out there, you make New Year's resolutions, and you say, you know, January 1st, I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna start dieting. I'm going to make amends with somebody that I've had a fallout from. Um, I'm gonna lose 30 pounds, whatever that goal is, and then we start off January 1st, and that's awesome. And we're just on fire, and we're like, yes, this is the time. It's my time now. Let's go. And then 15, 20 days. I'm surprised if some people make it 30 days into February, because it's really hard. But again, why does that happen? What is the core problem with that? Why do we do it? So as a life coach, then my goal for you would be to, what is it that comes up within those first 15, 20 days? What is it that triggers the response of, I'm not going to continue what I promised myself? But at the end of the day, we're only letting ourselves down. You know, Joe Schmo, Sally Mae, whoever, they don't care. They don't care. They really don't care. Your family members care whenever you're overweight or your health is in bad shape, but they'll even tell you like, man, what's wrong with you? But a lot of people, they don't really care. You're the only person that you're hurting is yourself. The only person that is losing anything is yourself. So that's it. As a life coach, my work would be to find what's coming up. How do we deal with it? Are there any techniques we can use? Any coaching techniques that I've learned, in the last 2 years, 3 years, and also throughout my life, that we could pinpoint and make a plan and a path going forward? So that is my goal when it comes to how I would help any of my clients out there. The next few videos that I will put out would be to kind of get to know me a little bit more as well. Maybe a little deeper, because the whole point of a coach with a client is to make a personal connection. Yeah, you have to make it. You have to make that connection. It's not like any other type of service, like say a professional service, right? Like a lawyer or a real estate agent, or those kind of things, because you're looking for a service of something that you need at that time. A life coach service is more personal, in a sense that there's a vulnerability involved, as we would be talking one-on-one, and there'll be times where I'll challenge you, and we have to establish that from the beginning. How much can I push? How much? Where is the line that we're gonna draw? Um, are you gonna take it personal? Are you gonna um, get angry when some of these subjects come up? So there's a lot of personal involvement there that you have to be willing to open up. And my hope is that with my vulnerability, we can match each other and be able to say, hey, you know what? This guy gets me. He understands me. And then we go on from there. So, like I mentioned before, in the next videos, we might talk about a little bit of the personal things and issues I've faced in the past, and how I worked through those a little bit, on the other end. And then, from there, um, a little bit more about what I do, maybe specifics. And then, as the videos keep coming up, I might do random topics, for the day or for the week, or I might do a month, a month of a certain topic, and then just break it down into videos, uh, into segments during the month within that same topic. And this is all organic, since I said it's my first video. So my my goal and my belief would be to grow organically and see where it takes me and all of you that are out there watching. Um, I will post a link in bio, within the video on the bottom. Lead you to my Facebook page, my Instagram page, LinkedIn, um, YouTube. As this is YouTube, but LinkedIn, Twitter, or now X. I'm sorry, X. So you'll have all that. My website, it'll tell you more, more in detail what I do and how to get a hold of me, phone numbers, etc. Um, Other than that, I think this is it. This is a good first video, in my estimation. Out there in the world, you're probably like, this guy needs a film editor now, and and I probably do, but for now, it is what it is. I appreciate all of you that have watched this video. If you like it, thank you. If you don't, thank you. Nothing personal. I never take anything personal, but I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, which is the most valuable thing that you have. Again, my name is Efren Urrutia with Vida Life Coaching, and I thank you for your time. Have a wonderful evening.